anti-Semitic incidents recorded 2,041 incidents in Canada, representing a 16.5% increase over 2017 and a new and unwelcome national high. Statistics Canada recently confirmed that in 2016, 2017, and 2018, Jews were the most targeted group in Canada for hate crimes. B'nai Brith has called for an 8-point plan to combat anti-Semitism, which includes, among other things, instituting dedicated hate crimes units in major cities, providing enhanced training for officers, and developing an action plan to counter online hate. Our question to the candidates is as follows. Do you accept the need for a national plan to combat anti-Semitism? And if so, how do you propose to proceed to help protect what is obviously becoming an escalating problem? Josh?
Yeah, well, I read the 8 points, and I love them all. Like I've said, I've encountered, a lot of people say the Green Party is anti-Semitic, and I know that, we're part of the problem as well. Like, we had an annual general meeting a couple of years ago, and out of 10 resolutions that the party voted for, 2 were to boycott Israel and boycott a Jewish charity. So clearly the anti-Semitism resides in all areas. But I think the 8-point plan is important because it sort of addresses 2 things. Like, first of all, I think there are people that are just anti-Semitic and they want to do hate crimes, and that's what we need to clamp down on, have law enforcement, and have the police be able to deal with it. And I think it's also important to educate people, because I think there are still people that don't necessarily even think they're anti-Semitic or don't think there's hate in their heart. They just misunderstand international politics. Because if you read CNN, the way they're so biased, you would assume, yeah, Israel is the aggressor here. There is an Israeli apartheid. Even when I went to Israel 3 years ago, I had to ask, when we did tours of the government, and I said, what are they talking about when they're talking about the Israeli apartheid? Like, I assume there must be some kind of law or something that has something to do with that, but they're like, there's nothing. Like, it's just this made-up term. So if even I'm sometimes confused and confused by the news and the way things are taught us, then definitely education is important, and we need to fight this. And I've seen it firsthand. I was trained by Al Gore as a climate leader in Chicago, and then when the war, and I assumed all my eco-friends were my friends, but when the war broke out 3 years ago and I came back from Israel, and they're all attacking Israel, and on Facebook I posted, like, listen, this isn't acceptable. Israel's the only democracy in the Middle East. It's a welcoming country. 20% of the government is Arab. Like, it's the only place with religious freedom and freedom for LGBTQ people. And they're all like, oh, you're evil, you're a Jew, the blood of Jews is on your hands. And even within the Green Party, I lost the nomination to be on the Spadina 40, well, I'll tell this story later. So I've encountered it a lot, and I can see it, and I want to help things from the inside and educate people.
Thanks very much.